Trump is gangster. One thing we can never say is that our president is scary. I ain't want to speak on too many politics, but our president is about that life. That man is the white version of 50 Cent. No, for real. Like, this man is straight. Turned all the lights off, bombed that mug, snatched the president, put his butt in a Nike Tech, and dropped him in New York.
I see like 3, 4 running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. Run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door. On the floor.
But you gotta give it to that nigga gangster. That nigga got on the thing today and said about the president that got killed in Iran. He said, that nigga basically said, I simply got him before he got me. That nigga gangster, bro. You might not like it. I don't like him either, but that nigga gangster. That nigga.
President Trump is acting like an international gangster.
Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster.
In this exact same fit, I made a video about this man, and now the mission is over. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. At what point are y'all gonna give this man credit? I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not a Trumpy, but I respect that man's gangster. Whenever McDonald Trump says we finna do something, I'm gonna be honest with you, there is every part of my body that believes that he's gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do. Like when it comes to foreign affairs, when it comes to handling business overseas, what on his track record shows me that he's not gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do? Talking about, yo, it was daytime when I made that video, and now it's nighttime, and the mission is over. Like, you can't hate on the efficiency.
This is America. Don't catch you slip.
It's probably going to be an unpopular opinion to a lot of people, but I would rather have a president who takes action and does what he says he's going to do than a president who sits around and just signs executive orders all day. Love him or hate him, he does what he says he's going to do. He protects the American people. God bless America. And he's out here getting shit done, love him or hate him. I don't want a president who sits behind his desk all day. Okay? I just don't. Give me the American gangster president we got going on right now. He's getting shit done.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga.
You see what's happening here? Politics has moved out of the newsroom and straight into culture. And the reason this kind of thing is actually going viral is pretty simple. People recognize decisiveness when they see it. I'm just saying, for years, Americans were told that the world was complicated, that leadership meant hesitation. And every move had to be debated for months. Then one moment happens, one decision gets made, and suddenly the internet turns into a meme. Why? Oh, you came to the right place. Why? Because whether people agree or not, Americans respect, leaders who, how do I say, actually act, who actually do something. All right? That's what we respect over here. Now, compare that energy to what's happening on daytime television, because when the conversation hits certain TV studios, the tone changes real fast. Watch this.
I want to ask you why you keep calling this like an undocumented attack, that you don't agree with the war and illegal. Unconstitutional. So did you believe it was illegal in April of 2011 when the Office of Legal Counsel memo stated from President Obama that the president has constitutional authority to direct the use of military force in Libya because he could reasonably determine that such use of force was in the national interest prior. Congressional approval was not constitutionally required to use military force in these operations. Where were you then complaining?
I agreed. Well, I wasn't on this show then.
No, but personally, would you have stood against that?
I was at home complaining. No, I wasn't complaining because the Office of Legal Counsel was involved. And the Office of Legal Counsel...
This came after.
But the Office of Legal Counsel is the office in the Department of Justice, because I worked at the Department of Justice, that reviews these things and makes legal determinations. This president doesn't go through the Office of Legal Counsel. This president does not go to Congress. Congress has the power to to approve wars. This Congress has the power of the purse. This president is acting more like a king than anything else. He is the commander. He's the commander-in-chief, but he is not a king. And so I think that this should have gone through Congress. I think that the American embassies should have been notified so that American citizens in the Middle East would have been able to get to safety. I don't think that this was done appropriately. I maintain that this is illegal and unconstitutional.
Do you like the result?
Do
you like the result?
No, I don't.
Well,
I
you would rather the regime
because I don't,
head and those
because I think
40,
it's very,
18 leaders
I think
be
it's
in
very
place.
easy
This
to
is going to
start
be a
war,
longer
very difficult to
conversation.
end one.
Since this is going to be a longer conversation, we're going to take a break
Today?
and we're going back. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, I bet you wanted to take that break. That moment right there is why people are losing faith in corporate media. Come on, I mean, it's The View. You know, the question that was asked was incredibly simple. If presidential military action without Congress is unconstitutional now, why wasn't it unconstitutional then? Seriously, same country, same constitution, same war powers, but somehow the rules changes depending on who's in office. And you could literally feel the room tighten the moment that comparison was made, because when that double standard gets exposed, the conversation suddenly has to end. Commercial break. Problem solved. Except it's not solved. Because while those TV panels were up there arguing, something else is happening that's far harder for them to spin. And it's this thing called numbers. All right? This next clip proves it, because this is CNN. That's some partisan outlet. Actually reporting something that completely wrecks the narrative. Y'all watch this.
Republicans love Donald Trump more than any president's own party supporters loved him at this particular point. Just take a look here. Okay, own party supporters, 21st century presidents, own party approval, about at this point in the second term. Bush was at 77%. Obama was at 77%. Look at this. 86% of Republicans approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing at this point. That is higher than either Obama or Bush had within their own party at this point. Trump's magic touch has not seemed to wear off yet when it comes to the Republican base.
And what kind of approval are we talking about here?
Okay, so we're talking about overall approval here. How about the strongly approved, not just like, but love. Okay, we're going to look at these same presidents again. Strong approval among your own party's base. What you see here is Trump is the only one who gets a majority at this point in their presidency. Obama was at 48%. Bush was at 47%. You see here Trump at 53%. Not as high as overall approval rating, but still getting a majority of the Republican base, at least in the average of polls, to say that they still really, really, really like him.
Okay. Now let that sink in, y'all. 88%. That's not just strong support. That's dominance. You rarely see numbers like that inside a political party unless something much bigger is happening. Despite years of investigations, attacks, headlines, predictions that the movement will collapse, the base is actually more unified than ever. And that's exactly why the political establishment, it gets nervous whenever Trump's name comes up. Because the more pressure they apply, the stronger that loyalty seems to get. Which is why movements like this next clip travel so fast across the internet. Because every once in a while, somebody shows up and says exactly what millions of people are thinking. No script, none of that, no filter, none of that. Look at this, y'all.
Oh, really? But why? What do you think about Donald Trump?
I love Donald Trump. He's strong. He said he do it.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't like him?
No, I voted for Joe Biden.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Never voted.
And then I voted for Kamala.
Never vote for Democrat. No one. They asshole.
You don't like Kamala?
No, she a cuckoo. I'm smarter than her.
She a cuckoo. I'm smarter than her. That right there is the kind of moment that media strategists hate because it's authentic. Nobody coached her. Nobody wrote that for her. It's just someone saying exactly what she believes. And when people see that raw type of honesty, man, they share it. Not because it's polished, but it feels real. Because it is real. And that authenticity is why Trump supporters remain so loyal. Because the argument they keep making is actually very simple, right? And this last clip sums it up perfectly. Y'all, take a look at this.
He is a billionaire who left a life of luxury to serve the American people. He is somebody who is not doing it for power. He already had power. He's not doing it for fame. He already had fame. He's not doing it for the money. He already had money. He doesn't care. He wakes up every morning to all the insults and the hate and images of beheading by Kathy Griffith that his son can watch and be mortified that somebody actually really killed my dad. And then he remembers, I'm not doing this to please the media. I'm doing it because I'm fighting for the American people. They hate him because he is serving the American people. He is putting America first. And they do not know how to handle him. And that's why Donald Trump is resonating with a lot of people in this country, from CEOs of companies to janitors working for $10 an hour. Because from the janitor to the CEO, they know, and everybody in between, President Donald Trump is working for me. And it's a breath of fresh air, because for decades now, we have had many presidents on the right and the left. Not many people could say, Barack Obama is working for me, or George Bush is working for me, or Clinton is working for me. But with Donald Trump, the janitor knows President Donald Trump is working for me. And that's why he's resonating with the people.
For sure. And that's the core of it right there. The argument isn't about personality. It isn't about style. I think it's about intention. Supporters look at Trump and they see someone who already had everything most people spent their entire lives chasing. And that's money, that's fame, power. And instead of, staying comfortable and all that, he walked directly into the most hostile political environment in the world. Now, critics would disagree with that interpretation completely, but they still don't understand. What they still don't understand is why the loyalty hasn't disappeared. And that's because millions of Americans believe they watched someone challenge a system that stopped working for them a long time ago. And once people believe that, you're not dealing with a politician anymore. Quite literally, you're dealing with a movement. And that's why moments like this, like the ones we watched today, that's why they matter. Because while television studios keep insisting that Trump's support is collapsing, even CNN is now forced to admit something different. And they've been doing this quite often inside his party. His support is stronger than ever. Which means the story being told on TV and the political energy happening across the country. What's in my eye? But they're becoming two very different things. And when that gap grows large enough, it usually means the people running the narrative are no longer the people running the country. So, let me ask you something. Do you think the media still understands what's happening politically in this country, or do you think they completely lost the pulse of American voters? Let me know in the comments. However, outside of that, I want you to put loyalty. Yeah, not blind loyalty either. We don't do that, but just loyal to the truth. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.